Hey, this is Gene. I just did a video about white guilt. So after watching this, if you want to go look at that, it's a different video. You can be upset with my claims and that, but I don't separate what I do on this channel. So if you want to go out and look at that, fine. If not, you just want to talk here about sports, that's fine. I may say something that might be off color in this as well. Um, I don't script anything. I just say what I say, and you just listen or you don't. So I want to talk about what I think the table will look at the end of the season. I see a lot of people, a lot of guys that I watch from Strefford Paddock, Adam, and some other people putting Manchester United winning the league, which I find shocking, to be honest. Um, I'm not sure that we're all together yet as far what we'd have to actually have. If we really wanted to challenge for the title, we'd have to have the guy from Brighton in already. Sesko had to be ready to go. We would have to have an actual striker in camp uh, to be his backup if it's not going to be Hoyland, like Lewin or something like that, that can score goals. Um, it's just, I think with our start, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to get a lot of points early. Hopefully, we'll get 2 points out of each game. I think it's going to be an interesting game on Sunday. I think we have a very good chance of winning that game. It's rare that Arsenal, even when they're better than us, beat us at home. But it's the first game of the season, and if they score early, it could be bad. Um, we don't. Our team is not fully loaded. I don't know if Martinez is going to come back and be in the back three. Maybe. I mean, Heaven may just take that, or Mazarawi. We're very deep in the back, so the problem is the midfield. We can't control it there. So I don't think we're going to finish champions. I would love it that if it's a close um, race between us, Liverpool, Man City, and then we end somehow beat them to 21. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that City will be better. Chelsea might be a dark horse. Um, Liverpool, you just wonder if they've got too many good players that it might actually um, hurt them. And they had a lot of favorable outcomes that got them points, and that normally happens when you win the championship. It's possible they won't get as much this year, and they might revert a little bit, have maybe a better year, play better, but not actually having as much points as maybe City might have or Arsenal might have. I just think that we're going to lose way too many points early in the season until we get everybody together and our system all the way down, and it might cost us an actual chance at doing something in winning the championship. That's not my focus. It shouldn't be. We finished 15 last year, but anything can happen in the league. So I'm just going to go through. I think the three teams that came up was it Leeds, Sutherland. Great. I used to watch that show on Netflix. So happily that they came back. I always liked Sutherland before. Um, Middlesbrough. Always I liked them better than Newcastle. I liked them much more than they did. So we know that Leeds came up. Um, looks like my son's going to clean out his car. Sunderland. And who else came up? Burnley. Burnley goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think at least one of them are going to stay in, and I want this might be my heart. I want Sunderland to stay up, and I want Leeds and Burnley to go down. I don't think Leeds probably will, but Leeds and Burnley will go down, and that means I have to figure out somebody that's going to finish in the bottom three that's going to go down. And looking at it, I really think there's a real opportunity that Brentford or West Ham might go down. That's just me. So I'm going to go ahead and just say it's going to be Brentford. So you put Burnley, the bottom of the table, Leeds, um, 19th. Is that right? 19th. And did I say West Ham? Oh, Brentford, uh, 18th. Then right behind that, maybe just staying out of relegating is going to be West Ham. Yeah, he's using my thing, but that's fine. You'll just hear it on it. After after that, I'm going to put Sunderland in 16th. The league is so fucking stacked this year. 15th, I'm going to put um, Fulham. Still, I mean, that's maybe not. 14th, Everton. 13th, Wolves. 12th, I don't remember what I said. Fulham. 11th, I want to say Newcastle. I think they're going to have a lot of issues this year. Um, no, no, I'm going to, yeah. 11th will be Newcastle. 10th will be Forest. Forest might go down too. They lost a lot of players, but I think they'll get enough. I think their defense is pretty decent, and I think they'll be around 45 or 50 points. They had a real chance to finish the top four last year. They just didn't do it. Number 9, I want to see Crystal Palace. 8th, I'll say Tottenham. 7th, Brighton. Even if they give us Balagba, they're going to be good. They just know how to play. Um, and they'll be able to replace him with other players, and they'll be fine. Where are we at? Top 6. I'll have Villa 6th. Oh, I forgot about Bournemouth. Oh, I probably should have wrote this down. I'm going to say Bournemouth's going to be in the lower ones around 14th to 15th. So we'll just move everything up. So I think the last ones we don't have are the Liverpools, Man City, Manchester United, Arsenal. Is that right? I think so. Yeah. So those 5: Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Liverpool. Jeez, I can't remember Liverpool, Man City, Man United. That's 3. Arsenal and Aston Villa. I know. When I look back at this, I probably said the wrong things 8,000 times. But I'm gonna put Villa at 5, United at 4, City at 3, Arsenal at 2, and unfortunately Liverpool to win the league. Now all that could change if there are certain injuries or players improved tremendously on some of these other teams. I didn't talk about Chelsea. All right. Let's get the top. Let me give you the top 7, okay? And we'll go from that. Villa 7th, and Spurs will be outside the top 7. 6th will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. All right, the top 6. Let's try this all over again. Villa, Chelsea, United, City, Arsenal, Liverpool. After that, I mean, you can put Tottenham has a chance to be the top 6. Um, Forest, if they get better players in or they just continually to improve, they kind of like fell off at the end last year. I don't think Everton. I don't think Palace can do enough to get up there. I just think that those are the teams. I, I, I just think, yeah, you could put, like I said, you could put Spurs in there. But those 7 or 8 teams, and then you got 5 that I think are nailed on. If Manchester United actually come back, we only scored like 44 goals last year. If we can get, 50 or 60 from just our front line, and don't include Bruno or other players, it should be enough. And our defense should be good enough. I think we should still get around 75 points, but we'll see. I think that the winners will have around 85 to 88 points. I think the league is going to be hard. I think teams have actually improved. Um, okay, that's all I have to say about that. And I'm just going to make a few things about what I think about the state of the Premiership. I think the game is worse. I think that what's happened is that almost like in Moneyball, if you've seen that movie, I think we look at statistics and we started recruiting players, and they do it so early overseas, and they look for guys that can run really fast, jump really high, have good, what's the word? Reactions, agility, whatever. And it has really been it has really changed the game tremendously, but it hasn't made it better. All we see now is, yeah, they're a little bit quicker, or they can do a little bit, but they're not as intelligent, or they don't play the actual game as well. And certainly, I would say that any good teams from the '90s or early 2000s who've won the league, I think would probably destroy the last 4 or 5 champions that we've had in the Premiership. Um, I think that the game was better back then, not just because, people are going to say because you talk about certain things in this thing. We have way too many Africans playing in the Premiership, and they've geared how the game is played to their strengths. And of course, you couldn't say that years ago. You couldn't talk about certain things, but they will. They will go on the internet and they'll say, well, clearly, black people are the most athletic. And then again, it's the same thing that I've said in the other video. So you do want to group everybody by the color of their skin, and then when people that look like me start saying things, it's like, well, you're not really the same as the Spanish white guy or the Scandinavian white guy. And the United States doesn't really have, or we don't have a white culture because we were just tribes and we're different. Okay. But when that stuff comes up, it's oh, it's because we're dominant. We do everything we do. And you know that white people came from Neanderthals, and no black people have that in them. And they are the first real humans. So you're just like, okay. I said I was going to say something shit because that's what happens to me. But anyway, I think it's going to be a great season. There'll be a lot of eventful games, um, individual outstanding performances, but it's just not the same. And this is just not me getting old and reminiscing. It's the same thing here in the United States and the NBA, the same as it is in the Major League Baseball and in the NFL. It's just not the same. And that's all I got to say about that. And if you just actually step back and look at it, if you're a little bit older, you can actually see the differences. I mean, if you're 20, you didn't grow up at that time. You didn't see how these other players and how the other teams actually played. We went through that whole ticky-tacky shit with Barcelona. and he kind of like brought that in here in the Premiership, and then we got these now. All we do is counterattack teams. We did that for a long time. Can't string a couple passes together, but if we get the ball back and we throw it over something like that, we go get it. Now, people have won championships doing that. They've won the Champions League doing that, but it's just not. It's not when you look at the game tactically, you know it's changed. And when you sit there and say, would Scholes play well in the Premiership? And then I hear stuff like this in the United States that, well, Bird couldn't play in the NBA now. And I'm like, Bird would score 50 a game. It's like, it makes no sense. Now, it depends on how it's officiated. I don't think Roy King would actually be able to dominate in the game today because he wasn't as fast as some of the other players, and he would use some of the dark arts to make other players fearful for him. That's not allowed anymore. These guys are almost friends now. They go on trips together. Doesn't mean they're on the pitch that they don't go and try to win, but it's not like it used to be. Maybe that's another part of it as well. If you don't have, it's not tribal in nature anymore because these players have so much power that it's like Sancho might just let his contract just run all the way down, get all that money, and then get a free somewhere else and get more money doing that instead of actually going and actually playing for a decent team in Europe because the players have way too much power. Anyway, I'm going to stop right there. I think Liverpool's going to win, and that'll be the 25th or 21st championship. And then we'll be behind again. But we've done it before. It's all cyclical. This should always happen this way. The only thing I just want to see, as long as we play, as a Manchester United fan, that we actually play a little bit better this year, that we show improvement. And I hope that we get rid of all these other players out of the game that were a distraction. And I'll just say this before I leave. I don't care what Marcus talks about now. He goes on these podcasts and he talks about how it was. And I just said, dude, nobody here knows this. You can say all that stuff and it may be all true, but you were there. You were a veteran. And you somehow got carried around, led away from players like Pogba, Lingard, and then when Sancho came in, you had the wrong friends, and it destroyed your career at Manchester United. You somehow thought you were bigger than the club. You thought by going to Dublin and partying or going to the United States and looking like a rapper that would be good as a footballer. You were already making 300,000 pounds a week. You didn't need to try to do anything else. You lost what you were when you came through the youth team. That first 3 or 4 or 5 years that you clearly would have done anything for this team to win championships. And I still think you feel that way, but you're trying, you're looking in the mirror and you're not realizing that you were part of the problem. Most of you were. Just as a layman, when I watch a player walk around, huff and puff, and complain, and then, oh, I'm not going to say bad about my club. Well, thanks, but you are the same thing as Sancho. You said you didn't want to go anywhere else but Barcelona. Well, thankfully that you reduced your wages so you could go to Barcelona. I guess I should shake your fucking hand. But your boy isn't doing it. Anyway, I'm going to stop right there. You guys have a great day. I think that we are going to get at least a draw on Sunday. Hopefully we get a late winner off of Sesko. You guys have a good game. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.